Hi, I'm Nicole Johnson-Zian, and I am here right now in Jerusalem, but I wish I could be sitting with you in person in Toronto right now. When my son Daniel was born, I became a first-time mom. But unlike other first-time moms, I did not get the joyous experience of holding my baby and receiving congratulations and warm words from the doctors in the room. Instead, we were met with a flurry of activity as the medical staff sought to find out whether Daniel had a chromosomal disorder and the severity of his heart defect. Daniel indeed did have Down syndrome, and he would need open heart surgery within a few months. We were sent home with a list of medical appointments to make and a dire forecast of low expectations for Daniel's life. But the hospital did send us home with something else. While I was there, a social worker handed me a brochure for an organization I had never heard of, Shalva. A few weeks later, as I was digging myself out of the dark cloud and through the paperwork from the hospital, I found that brochure again, and I decided to call. I didn't really know what early intervention was or how they could help a 2-month-old. But anyway, I called. And as I stumbled through my introduction, the woman on the phone, the woman who answered the phone, interrupted me and said, "Mazal tov." I paused. That simple and yet elusive blessing sunk in. This woman who answered the phone at Shalva was the first person in a professional capacity who congratulated me on the birth of my son. That was a key turning point for me. Suddenly, I had something that no one in the medical community had offered me up to that point: hope. Of course, we booked an intake session right away with Shalva, and we began at the Mommy and Me program. Shalva did not even ask us about our religious background. They welcomed us with open arms. Shortly after, we continued our path with Shalva, and Daniel graduated to the daycare program, where he received state-of-the-art therapies. Daniel is now in the after-school program, where he comes every day after school for an extremely invested activities from sports to music. One of the highlights of our year is Shalva's most amazing and indescribable summer camp, where an army of volunteers takes a few hundred kids on a week-long sleepaway trip. There is nothing like it. And when it's your child's only chance for a sleepover or even a play date, you value every moment on his behalf. We have also grown with Shalva. We started out when Daniel was a baby at that massive converted apartment in the neighborhood of Har Nof. And we moved with Shalva to this state-of-the-art massive new facility in Beit Vagan. And we all love it. We come here as a family to the park, the cafe, and even for community events, such as at the auditorium, where my daughter's dance studio had its recital this year. We also come weekly because, in the spirit of Shalva, my second child, my 10-year-old son, who is a green belt in judo, is now volunteering in Shalva's judo program. Shalva also allowed me to get back to work. And in my capacity as a journalist, I've been able to write about the amazing accomplishments of this organization and its now global reach. We have always believed that with God, all things are possible for Daniel. We have found in Shalva a partner for that. Through the success of the now famous Shalva band, our hope continues to grow that the sky is the limit. Old mindsets in society are starting to chip away, and inclusion of people with disabilities is becoming more common. We believe that faith, hope, and love are all important. We have always had faith that God was in control and that He would help Daniel. But our faith needed hope in order to sustain it and to keep us moving along. And that is the defining characteristic of Shalva. The hope and the love that they have for our children is unparalleled. We've had therapists that are good, that are excellent, but unless they love Daniel, the results were not as amazing. Now people are coming from around the world to see Shalva, to see what they do, and to see how that can be replicated in their countries. I thank God every day for Shalva and for the founders who followed God's call to build this amazing place. And I thank all of you for your partnership in this global effort which touches lives like ours on a daily basis.